It's Up Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The presidential and legislative elections are a chance for people all over Taiwan to have their say in the country's future. And that includes the islands of Kinmen, just kilometers from China. Politics there can be quite different from Taiwan itself. Moon reports.
The islands of Kinmen, Taiwan's closest point to China, with the Chinese city of Xiamen visible just across the water. Politics here has long been dominated by the opposition Kuomintang, or KMT, which favours closer ties with Beijing. In Taiwan's upcoming elections, the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, isn't even running a local candidate here. Its China-wary policies have little traction in Kinmen. But the KMT is being challenged by a different source, the rising Taiwan People's Party.
这是整个包含了台湾本岛，其实选举的气氛都有点不太一样。那民众党虽然很新，可是我们比较没有包袱。
The Taiwan People's Party has sold itself as a third way compared with the KMT and DPP. But when it comes to relations with China, it hews closer to the KMT's position of maintaining friendlier ties.
其实柯主席在这个议题上面也发表相当多次的言论他一直强调的是两岸是一家亲，不是两岸一家愁。那作为一个国家国际关系的角度来看，其实应该是要左右逢源，而不是左右为难。
您会支持建立那个晋厦大桥吗？
一定支持，一定支持。
By promising closer relations while maintaining Taiwan's sovereignty, Shang and her party are hoping to make inroads right in the heart of KMT territory. The KMT legislator here, Chen Yu-jen, is standing for re-election, as she can call on famous party heavyweights like VP candidate Zhao Xiaokang whenever she's out on the campaign trail. It's a challenge the Taiwan People's Party is meeting head-on.
With just a few days to go until voting, the Taiwan People's Party faces an uphill struggle to overcome the KMT party machine here in Kinmen. But a victory would be a real achievement, a sign that a new force is here to stay in Taiwanese politics. Carmen Xu, Simonetta Ho, and Ed Moon in Kinmen for TaiwanPlus.
Over 2 million Taiwanese live overseas, and thousands of them make the long journey back home to vote each election. Our reporter Tiffany Wong caught up with some of these people to learn about what keeps them coming back.
Coming home with a purpose, Carolina Day has arrived in Taiwan on this early morning flight to vote in the country's pivotal elections.
It's my responsibility as a Taiwanese citizen, and I am really keen to shape the future direction of Taiwan for my children and for the future of Taiwan.
Day has spent most of her life outside of Taiwan. Born to Taiwanese parents in Brazil and raised in Australia, she didn't gain full citizenship until her 30s. Now she's part of a group of a few thousand overseas Taiwanese who return to the country to vote each election cycle. That's because Taiwan requires voters to return to the district their household is registered in to submit ballots by hand. Emily Tu has also returned to Taiwan to vote. She's lived outside the country for half her life, having moved to Vancouver when she was in middle school. But her roots are here, and that's why she comes back every 2 years to vote in both presidential and midterm elections.
So my core belief is that I'm a Taiwanese person, and that's something that I value and have sort of anchored my personal identity around.
This group of voters are members of the Kuomintang, Taiwan's main opposition party that espouses friendlier relations with neighboring China. Many of the group have lived in the U.S. for decades and returned to Taiwan in response to their party's call to support their presidential candidate. They say that living abroad lets them see the big picture when it comes to cross-strait relations.
We come from the United States. We know how the United States government think about the situation or the relationship Taiwan needs to be maintained between China and United States.
While overseas voters single out Taiwan's external relations, local voters have more domestic concerns, like the cost of living and low wages.
What's fascinating about the Taiwanese election right now is how all the parties are studiously avoiding the question of China, the question of geopolitics, because they know that voters are fatigued by it. So the difference between, I think, the diaspora and the local voters is the diaspora still sees this as about China. So in a way, the diaspora vote probably still is about this political struggle over Taiwan sovereignty.
Regardless of where they grew up or where they live now, these overseas voters say Taiwan's future is tied to theirs, and the flight back is a small cost in exchange for the priceless chance to vote. Eason Pan, Joseph Wu, Lian Lian, Chris Ma, and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Be sure to tune in for our live coverage of the elections tomorrow. A thief has been detained after being caught stealing food from people's scooters in southern Taiwan. The man is accused of at least 30 cases of stealing over the past 4 years. Tainan is famous for its delicacies, and he was eventually caught stealing one of Taiwan's specialties, a bowl of beef noodle soup. Police are reminding people not to leave tasty snacks hanging on their vehicles, and local restaurateurs are sympathizing with the victims.
人家有些排队排很久挂起我靠，出去一下然后回来，马上就被拿走的话，人家心情也没有很好啊。
Taiwan's video gaming industry is set to get a boost. The government hopes to raise the profile of Taiwanese developers by offering grants. Notorious has the details.
Video games made in Taiwan. A growing industry of gaming companies is making products with a special local flavor, but many find breaking onto the world stage tough. Take this game, based around the true story of a World War II air raid on Taipei. Originally planned as a board game, it's now gathering funds for an augmented reality makeover, a game in the style of Pokemon Go that overlays computer graphics on real-world surroundings. But just getting this far has been tough, and many Taiwanese projects like it never get past the early stages.
如何去整合手边的资源，那去做时间的管理？我觉得在资源的整合和去找寻相关的一些配合，不管是财务上或者是补助的部分，我觉得都相当的重要。
Most projects start out self-financed, with little but the developer's passion to keep them going. It's a trend crowdfunding websites are starting to help with.
能够透过在地的支持，然后去让一些关注于本土内容的这些创意人们能够得到资金去做自己想做的事情，是一个群众跟创意人双赢的一个机会。
But Taiwan's government wants to help too. It started a program that will give grants to promising projects. The idea is to get more Taiwanese games past the imagination stage and onto store shelves, hopefully around the world.
独立游戏这个产业啦，因为这个是台湾年轻人的未来。这个计划其实它的目的就是要鼓励这个开发台湾原创的，而且具独特性的一些游戏。
8 games will get grants of up to $50,000 each for development, and 1 to 2 games judged exceptional will get up to $96,000 to be turned into a finished product. While not even close to the budget of most games these days, which can cost up to hundreds of millions of dollars to make, every bit helps. And the hope is that this funding will eventually pay off with a Taiwanese hit. John Su and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
The body of a rare whale has been found chopped up on the shore of Green Island off Taiwan's east coast. The Ocean Affairs Council says they suspect locals cut up the carcass after finding it beached. Parts of the ginkgo tooth-beaked whale were found in a bag hidden on a nearby reef. Samples from the animal are being used to investigate the cause of its death. Cetaceans are protected in Taiwan. Those who hunt or kill them can face prison sentences of up to 5 years and fines of up to $32,000. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, check out these fans on their way to Australia's Elvis Presley Festival, held every year in January in honor of Elvis's birthday. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.